Hey Griffin, so today is day 4. We're going to work on adding integers, okay? Remember, integers are whole numbers, positive or negative, okay? So whole numbers, positive or negative. Day 4, notice here the date is a little bit off. That's okay. Just make sure you're doing one section of math a day. So for our key knowledge today, we need to look at some integer rules here, okay? Focusing on the adding portion of this, okay? Spend some time today looking over this so it'll really help you out when you start doing it, okay? So there's two different types of integer rules we're going to use today. We're going to use the same sign rule and then a different sign rule, okay? So when I have the same sign rule, both of my signs, both of my numbers that I'm adding together are positive or they're negative. Or my other scenario is that they're different signs. Maybe one's negative, one's positive, or maybe it's positive and a negative, okay? So we're going to look how to solve both types of those. So let's go down to the model. We're going to look at adding integers with the same sign first, okay? So when we add integers with the same sign, okay, we add them up and we keep the sign with it, okay? This one is really easy. This is one you've been doing since you were little, okay? They have the same sign, add the numbers, keep the sign. Our other one requires a bit more work here, okay? Adding integers with different signs, okay? When I add integers with different signs, I need to subtract the two numbers, then keep the sign of the larger number, okay? This one requires a little bit more work here. What I like to remember is if they're different, take the difference, okay? So let's look at some practice problems here. I have integers with the same sign here, so if they're the same sign, I add and I keep the sign. So notice here, I have 5 plus 6. You could probably do this in your head. It's 11. Notice here I have a positive 5, positive 6. I keep the same sign here and get out a positive 11. Now, look at this next problem. Negative 5 plus negative 6. The only difference in these two problems here is the sign, okay? Notice here, I have a negative sign in this one for both of these. I add the numbers together. 5 plus 6 is 11. I keep the negative sign with it. Boom. My answer is negative 11. Let's look at another one. Negative 7 plus negative 5. 5 plus 7, I add the numbers, 12. Keep my negative sign, I keep the sign with it, negative 12. Lastly, 8 plus 9. You could do this one in your head, I hope. You haven't been in school that long. 17. Now, that's the ones with same sign. Same sign, add, keep the sign with it. Let's look at different sign, okay? Now, if they're different signs, we take the difference. So, we have to do some work on the side. So I have 9 plus negative 5. Notice here, 9 is positive, negative 5 is negative. So I subtract 9 minus 5. I get out 4. After you do that, you say, self, which number is larger, 9 or 5? Okay, when I mean larger, I mean which number is farthest from 0, right? You may get confused, you're like, oh, that's negative 5. I just want the one that's farthest from 0, okay? Notice here, 9 is farthest from 0, so it's going to be a positive in our answer, okay? So our answer is going to be positive 4. Let's do another one. I have a positive 10 plus negative 8. They're different. I subtract, okay? 10 minus 8 is going to equal 2. So I need to say, okay, is 2 positive or negative? Well, I look at my numbers, 10 and 8. 10 is larger than 8 is farther from 0, so it's going to be a positive 2 as my answer. Let's do the next one here. I have negative 8 plus 5. I subtract. 8 minus 5 is going to equal 3. And then I say, self, is it going to be a positive 3 or negative 3? Well, notice in this one, 8 is larger than 5. Also, if you want to think of it this way, negative 8 is farther from 0 than 5. So my answer is actually going to be negative this time, okay? I keep the sign of the largest number or the number farthest away from 0, okay? Lastly, I have 4 plus negative 9, okay? And this one you want to subtract as well because they're different signs. You may get a little confused how to subtract it. Make sure it's the largest number minus the smallest number, okay? I do 9 minus 4. I get out 5 here. I keep the sign of the larger number. Notice here, it's going to be negative 5 because negative 9 is farther away from 0 than 4 is, and 9 is larger than 4. So my answer is going to be a negative 5, okay? Making sure if they're the same sign, you add them together, take the sign with you. If they're different, take the difference, take the sign of the larger number. go ahead. You're going to get started on your guided practice today, practicing these problems more. Good luck.